In the mountains of Pakistan's Swat Valley, a little girl was born. Her name was Malala. She seemed like an ordinary child from an ordinary family, but her story would become one of the most extraordinary acts of resistance the world had ever seen. Malala's father, Ziauddin, recognized the light in her early. In a region where many families kept their daughters at home, he fought for his daughter's right to learn. He ran a school, he opened books, he opened minds. And to Malala, her first hero was her own father, a man who believed deeply that every child deserves an education. As Malala once said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." But the skies of the Swat Valley began to darken. In 2007, the Taliban took control. Music was banned. Women were forced inside their homes. And worst of all, girls were forbidden from attending school. Malala was only 11. Most children that age dream about games, friends, and stories. But Malala found herself living in a world where carrying a schoolbook could cost her life. She didn't stay silent. Under the name of Gul Mackay, she began writing a diary for the BBC. She wrote about sneaking her books under her shawl, hoping no one would see. She wrote about walking to school as armed men watched from the corners. She wrote about classrooms growing emptier each day. Until one day, she was the only girl left in class. Her voice spread. She appeared on television. She stopped hiding behind a pseudonym. She wanted the world to know what was happening to girls like her. And her bravery had consequences. On October 9th, 2012, Malala was riding home on her school bus. The road was quiet. Children were laughing. Suddenly, the bus stopped. A man climbed aboard with a gun. "Which one of you is Malala?" he asked. No one spoke. But some girls looked toward her, and with that single glance, her fate was decided. The man fired 3 shots. One bullet entered the left side of Malala's head and exited through her neck and shoulder. The world shook. A 15-year-old girl had been shot simply because she wanted to go to school. Later, Malala would say, "The Taliban thought their bullets would silence us, but they failed." Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage were born. Miraculously, Malala survived. She was flown to England for treatment, and as she healed, a global movement grew around her. On her 16th birthday, she stood before the United Nations, strong, steady, unbroken, and declared that every girl has the right to learn. In 2014, at the age of 17, Malala became the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner in history. Today, she continues her fight through the Malala Fund, helping girls around the world access education. Refugees, children in war zones, girls living under oppression, millions now see themselves in her story. "If you want to measure the power of a girl," she once said, "try to threaten her." Malala's story is not just about education. It is about dignity. It is about courage. It is about how a single voice can turn into thousands. It shows us that you don't have to be older, stronger, or wealthier to change the world. You simply have to believe that what you stand for is right. Sometimes all you need to change the world is a book, a pen, and a heart that refuses to give up.